Hi everyone, Queeveen here from the comfort of my kitchen. In today's video, we are going to be continuing to look at the very end of this year. We won't look forward into next year just yet, but we will look at some things other than the planets. Of course, you can already see here we've got Venus, Saturn, the Moon, Jupiter. Very soon we'll have Mars. By the end of the month, we'll have Venus and Mars in the sky at the same time. This weekend, however, that still won't be the case. Venus will be setting before Mars comes up, and taking a look just up here, yep, it says that it's peaking on the 14th. This is the Geminid meteor shower. It says that it's peaking on the 14th. We're here looking at it on the 13th, and we're getting a 130 out of 150, which is great. If we move forward another day, you can see that goes down. So that tells me, there we go, the number is climbing as we push from the day of the 13th into just past midnight, early morning of the 14th. And we're not even there yet. We're only coming up to 10 o'clock, and we can see there, 145, 140 odd. But just underneath that, we can see a local hourly rate of 50. The limiting magnitude is 5.5, and that is what gives us this particular view of the sky. So we can see Orion. We can just about see where Orion's sword would be, but it is a dot, not a stripe in the sky. The Seven Sisters, well, with the moon there, we won't really see much of the Seven Sisters, but pushing back, even with the moon a little bit out of the way, we're only seeing 2, maybe 3 stars there. So this is light pollution. Looking for this 147 out of 150 from the city, you're going to miss out on the fainter meteors. Now, a local hourly rate of 50 is still great. I hope you remember some of my previous videos where I gave out about particularly newspapers and media hyping up these kinds of smaller meteor showers. We can see here the 8th of December, down here the 8th of December again. So these are meteor showers that have already happened, that have already peaked. Thankfully, I guess this time people didn't mention them very much, but if you saw anyone saying, oh, there's 3 meteor showers or 4 meteor showers happening all together, the only big one really is the Geminids. And as I said, from the city, it's not going to be as big, but 50 isn't bad. Even with the amount of light pollution we have in the city, the Geminids are a meteor shower that you can reasonably expect to see some members of, at least. And now that we've pushed out to the countryside, we've still got the limiting magnitude there of 6.5, local hourly rate of 128, 147 out of 150 possible total. The moon is there. If I change dates, that'll move the moon out of the way, but of course it will also change where we are in relation to the peak. But if we push forward towards morning time, I believe the moon might be a little bit past full, so the sun might start to rise before the moon sets, and of course the radiant of the Geminids will get lower in the sky. So the radiant of the Geminids will be through a thicker layer of atmosphere. But of course the meteors can pop up anywhere in the sky, so that won't matter too much. But we can see the zenith hourly rate has actually started to go back down again. So that means we must have passed that absolute peak, and here comes the light of the sun. So of course we've got Mars there and Mercury, and still a local hourly rate there of 70. That's great. On the morning of the 15th, or the morning of the 14th, after coming from the 13th, you're likely to see more meteors from the Geminids than you would see in the middle of the night if you were in a city with as much light pollution as Cork City. So this is the Geminids. They're coming up this weekend. They are a good meteor shower. Much better from the countryside, of course. All things are really, but even if you're in the city, the Geminids meteor shower, they're actually quite good. I have given out a lot in recent videos about how these meteor showers can be overhyped or over-exaggerated, but the Geminids are generally a good meteor shower. So we are coming back towards sunset here. Once the glow of the sun comes back into the sky, there's Venus, so it won't be too long now. Of course, we are looking at quite early in the evening. Here we are just 5:30, and the sky's already reasonably dark. We've got a little bit of a sunset glow, but I think given that it's 5:30, saying all we have left is the glow of sunset by 5:30 is more appropriate. It is quite early for the sun to be going down. So we can see here, even out in the countryside, there's our square of Pegasus and our summer triangle. I will bring up the constellations just to go through what's going to be prominent when it's actually dark. So we can definitely see the square of Pegasus there right above the south, due south at just 6:30. So it is still quite early in the night. Once we move past midwinter and the nights start getting longer and longer, we're going to see Pegasus here, getting earlier and earlier. Instead of seeing it here at 6:30, we'll see it here, at 6 and then at 5:30. But the sunset will also get later and later. So not only will we see it further across the sky, or, not only will it appear later, it will be moving, or it will appear to move thanks to our motion. So because the sky will be changing, not only because of our motion around the sun, but when we see objects will be changing because of the length of the day and the time of sunset and sunrise, that's going to make the sky appear to change quite fast. So here we are, just 9 o'clock. Aquila's already hitting the horizon, so part of the summer triangle is already setting by just 9 o'clock. We're definitely not in summer, and I will keep saying that until we're back into summer. We've got the moon and Jupiter there in Taurus, and we've got Andromeda pretty much due south here. So the Andromeda galaxy isn't exactly south, or towards the zenith from south, high in the south. The Andromeda galaxy isn't exactly due south at 9:30, but it is very, very close. We can see there's our line coming up from due south to the zenith, and the Andromeda galaxy will be just there. So a compass, I guess, is all you need to find Andromeda at 9 o'clock on this weekend on the 13th, because it will be in that useful position. The moon, because the moon was only just touching the horizon as the glow of sunrise came up, that indicates that it is quite full, 97.2%. Is it past full? It's not. So we've got the full moon coming up here, I guess, on the 14th. Yeah, we're still before midnight, so this is the 14th, and we're at 99.6%. The next day it's down to 99.4%, so that number is not going up. It's going up as we move into the 15th. So it looks like the night of the 14th, the morning of the 15th is when we'll get the fullest moon that we're going to see. And we can see it there, of course, reaching the middle of the sky in the middle of the night. So right above the south, a little after midnight, because of the way time works and the fact that we're going off Greenwich Mean Time, even though we're a little further over here in Ireland. Of course, the moon works differently to the sun, but it does share something with the sun. It does roughly follow the ecliptic. Of course, the moon follows our equator rather than the sun's equator, but the tilt of the earth does still matter when it comes to how high the moon is in the sky. So we'll deselect the moon there, we'll get rid of these, and we'll get rid of the stars just to make things a little bit easier. We don't want to be confused with too many things in the sky. So we'll come back down to the sunrise, and there we go. And there's the moon rising very much in the northeast. And if we quickly push all the way through to morning time, we will see it setting very much in the northwest. So this is similar to the sun. Of course, the sun on midwinter will rise very far to the south and set very far to the south. So a full moon around midwinter will do the opposite. It'll rise and set very far to the north and to the northeast and northwest for rising and setting. So if we get a full moon in or around the solstice, then it will reach pretty far northeast and northwest. But these things don't always line up. We might get a new moon on the solstice and miss the most extreme version of this event. Because these cycles don't line up perfectly, we're not going to see a full moon rising or setting as far north as it possibly can. The moon might not rise as far north or set as far north as it hypothetically could every single year. Of course, sometimes we'll see the moon appear in the sky because that's the phase that it's in, but regardless, the way our view of the moon and the tilt of the Earth and the position of the sun, the way it all interacts, it makes this year particularly extreme. The moon this year is going to be at pretty much its furthest northeast and furthest northwest around the night of the solstice, which is, you know, with the night of the full moon on the 14th and the Geminid meteor shower peaking on the 13th, it's not ideal, but the Geminid meteor shower is worth it, even with the light of the full moon. I do hope it will be good. I hope you get to see some of the Geminid meteor showers, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do like it, and you can subscribe to this YouTube channel if you'd like to support more videos from me. You can also take a look at this information written down on my website, queevinscontent.ie. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you back here next time.